ये फर्क मिटा देते हैं। फ्रेंचाइज इंडिया।
Good afternoon, friends. A very warm welcome to our Business Opportunity Over Chai. And this special edition, Business Opportunity Over Chai, will help you to understand the greatest business opportunities that we Franchise India specially brings for you. Business Opportunity Over Chai presented by management team of Franchise India, Mr. Gaurav Maria, Chairman at Franchise India Group, and Ms. Sonia Chaudhary, MD at Franchise India Brands Limited. Every day, 12 o'clock, we launch a new brand to explore new business opportunities. Today, we have invited a great brand, the Social Gaming Group. Norway's pioneer concept of gastro gaming combines the love for gaming along with an upscale high-end cuisine and bar experience. Tuning in the concept of shared happiness, their successful gastro gaming venue concept delivers superior financial returns and make greatest opportunities for their franchisees. To know more about this business opportunity, we have invited the team of the Social Gaming Group. But before that, I inviting them over the stage. I would like to hand over the stage to Venus Barak. She is the CEO of Fan Global. Over to you, Venus.
Thank you so much, Harshika, and thank you to Franchise India Brands for hosting us. Good afternoon, everyone who has joined us now, watching us on my YouTube and will watch this later. Good morning to our guest joining in from Europe. Before I bring our guest in, let me try and set some context. So I'm Venus Barak. I'm the CEO of Fran Global. Fran Global's core service and business over the years has been to selectively work with international brands and concepts from all across the world. Now, a lot of you would know, I think if you have joined today's webinar, either you are from the industry or you want to get into the industry, you would know that India has a very healthy ecosystem of franchising. And our parent company, Franchise India, is a part of that ecosystem, is actually, has built that ecosystem for the last 25 years. And I personally have spent 16 years in the business, and with Fran Global, what we are really trying to do is to connect the world's concepts, brands to the Indian market. Fran Global also works in other markets, but yes, India happens to be and remains our biggest and home market. Now, coming to the concept of today. It's something which I personally have been observing, especially I think in last 2 years. Before I would say COVID, we were seeing these concepts, but I think it wasn't this much of growth and demand which we were seeing. So I think there are multiple names to it, and Troy I think would know more. But what I would say is it is foodtainment, it is a social entertainment, social gaming. So I think it's ultimately it's about elevating your normal eating out or drinking out experience with your friends, with your colleagues, with your family. Because I think what has happened is, our normal, food and beverage, let's say, eating out is now mostly catered by us ordering the food in our homes, in our offices. So when we are going out now, the expectation of a consumer is much, much higher, and they want to have fun. They want to have value for money. So that's why I think the concept of foodtainment, social gaming, and entertainment is just really, I think it's just pacing very fast. And in India, I mean, if I see. Traditionally, I think the source of entertainment, I'm talking indoor entertainment here, for a normal family or people going out is either, let's say, go to a pub or go to a bar, or you go to movies. Of course, it's still there, movies. I mean, we produce the maximum number of movies in the world. or you are, maybe it's bowling. So you would see there is a huge demand for having more options, because when people are going out now, they want just a better experience as well as a better value. And I would say the social gaming company, starting from Norway and building these concepts all across the world now, they have footprint across the globe, is just doing that, is to bring the best experience, best engagement, best food, also best drinks as well, where you, and without, I think, the tag of luxury. I think that is something which is very important, and Troy will talk about it. Yes, it's not what you would call a quick service, but it's not luxury. People like you and me, we should be able to afford this, and Instagram it, I would say. So, and I think another a very important aspect of this business is real estate. So real estate has always been challenged, but I would say last 1 year, people I have spoken with, people have reached out to us that they want these concepts. Apart from all the basic brands they would have, which you and I already know, they want concepts which maybe might be on the top floor of the mall, and but are very destination in nature. So even mall developers are seeking out such concepts, which for a franchisee is a very important part, because this is not going to be 1,000 square feet concept. This would be 5,000 square feet, 6,000 square feet. This will be a fairly capital intensive, a fairly large operation, not massive, not like 20,000 square feet, but mall owners, mall developers are asking for it. So very excited to welcome Troy Warfield. Troy is the CEO and co-founder of the Social Gaming Group, and would share with us, of course, his journey. He has, before this, he has done business all across the world, has a lot of, I would say, insights into the way different markets work. And I think his expectations from the Indian market are fairly ambitious, but also he understands that India is not Norway. So it just needs, and the way the entry into the Indian market would be relative to the way India market is, but huge opportunity I see, and look forward to hear from Troy. And this is a live session, people. So interact with us. You will see a Q&A box at the bottom of your screen. So keep those questions coming in. Let us know where you are from. I'm from Delhi, from India. Troy is from Norway. I hope, Troy, you're in Norway, or you're traveling right now. From which part of the world you have joined?
No, Venus, and thank you for the introduction. No, I'm based in London, but the business is from Norway, but I'm actually Australian. So there we go, just to complicate things a little more.
Oh my God. So all parts of the world.
All parts of the world. But thank you, Venus, for that lovely introduction. And it's a great pleasure. And thank you to Franchise India and to the wonderful team at Fran Global for the opportunity to speak to you today. And a little bit more about my background. Troy Warfield, the CEO of the Social Gaming Group. I've had many years in consumer companies like Unilever and Kimberly-Clark, moving into the service industry with Avis Budget Zipcar as the Chief Commercial Officer and Global Licensing and Franchising Officer. Then I was on the Executive Committee of British Airways. Moved into this world, as Venus said, that has many different names, but with a company called Topgolf as their international president, and took that brand around the world, selling about $3.5 to $4 billion worth of contracts for that concept. And in addition to being the CEO of the Social Gaming Group, I'm also on the board of a company called Surflex, creating surfing parks around the world. So probably the two things out of that is I've been a truly sort of global business person all my life. And what I'd say is India is very dear to my heart, both from a business perspective, but also from a travel and cultural perspective. And I've seen how India has grown to now what I think is the global powerhouse in terms of largest population, 60% below 35, most educated when you look at the number of MBA students coming out. And when we think about our proposition and as we were building our company, India was at the forefront. Hence why we've proven our model, but at this stage, India is very much our focus for growth. So if you allow me now, I'll share my screen and share the presentation. And Venus, you can jump in if that's doesn't come up as obviously as it should.
It is there, but you need to do full screen.
Yes, I will do that. No problem at all. How was that? We make a great team, Venus. There we go. All right, I'm just going to, I think the best way to do it is a very short video that hopefully brings to life all the things that Venus and I were just talking about.
You need, yeah, we can hear it.
Competition, fierce. Colleague distracted. Probability of impressing down to 43%. New target acquired status. Closest rival. Drink. The perfect gin and tonic. That does look good. And what's this coming out? Desserto. Oh, wow. No, Sammy, head in the game. She's going for my dessert. Clear distraction technique. Cheap trick. Double 13 for the win. Become the dart. It's much too early, but I'll take it. This is it. Wait a second. Main cause of failure. Solution found. Optimum distance acquired. Success guaranteed. 3, 2, 1. Lots of the design, we get the horns.
Oki is a tech company going into hospitality to create shared happiness for our customers. When you look at the combination of the game, the food, the beverage, and the service, we say it's not about the game, it's about the experience. Competitive gaming as an industry is really at the beginning of its life cycle, and Oki is really at the forefront of this global hospitality trend.
On our menus, we have some signature dishes. For example, spicy tuna corn. Flavor-wise, it's quite interesting as you eat it because you start with a caviar flavor, and then you go to acidic tuna that's been lying in lime juice together with habanero oil. So it kind of brings back spiciness in the end. So you have like a journey to one bite.
So how new franchisees will make money with Oki is really around our 3 aspects. So food, which delivers great margins, and that's similar to our beverage proposition, but it's this third factor of gaming where there are no cogs, in which case that delivers on the bottom line and also means that your percentage of personnel cost per venue remains quite low. So if you want to learn more about Oki, please.
Okay, so hopefully that gives you a bit more flavour. Dare I say it with a pun there, given all the lovely food that we're presenting in front of you. But competitive socialising, entertainment, we actually call our proposition gastro gaming, gastronomic food with gaming, and that combines the gaming element. And we have with our Oki brand, we've automated the game of darts. Using technology. So basically all you do is throw the dart and we do the rest. That culminates in us having 7 different games. And really the number of games is only limited by our imagination now. So that's all done. And the way the darts are detected is through camera technology that then works with a gaming algorithm to work out all the different games that our customers can play. The second the second key element that comes into play with all of this is also the combination of gaming with food and with drink. Now, our food international sharing plates from around the world. And we can tailor that to depending upon the cuisine around the world. We think many of our plates are actually very inspired by Asian influences, but we have within our menu some very, very core favorites that no matter whether we're in Brisbane or Singapore or London or Oslo, we know that they do incredibly well with our customers. But for the Indian customers, we will obviously work with you to ensure that we have that right blend, because food is such a local aspect to the whole proposition and in general. The third aspect is our beverage proposition, and we have award-winning cocktails, champagne, wines, craft beers, and it's this combination of three things combined with great service that really does bring this whole experience to life. As Venus said, we're also very conscious of the fact that they're sharing plates means that we can be an affordable night out for people. Very important to us, and we have that right balance. And the way our menu works means that we can be very focused on what the cost of goods are, which enables us to not only keep the pricing at the right level for our target market, but it also enables you, our potential franchisees, to make very healthy bottom line margins. This combination we call as a sort of no compromise is what we find with entertainment concepts, and you could think about it with bowling or cinema, that when you go out, you may be entertained, but you may not necessarily think that the food and beverage proposition is equally equally as strong. So what this proposition is about is you can go out and be entertained by playing the games such as darts with Oki, and we have another proposition called Shuffle, which is automating the game of shuffleboard. But you combine that with wonderful foods from around the world and married up by award-winning cocktails and drinks from our global mixologists. Our decor, as you can see here, this is a view of our Oki in London, in the Strand. And it's designed, we have a target market of people between 20 and 40 years of age. And whilst we talk age, I don't think that's as important anymore. It's more about a social mindset. We do actually focus on the female customer. And as a result of that, I think we've broken the stereotype of darts, where most people perceive darts to be more sort of older men in sort of dusty bars. As you can see here, the combination of the decor that we've had, you can see the female bathrooms. Our demographic is within that range, and on top of that, we have a 50-50 female-male split. So we're very proud of that, and have a very healthy demographic that comes to ours. The other big part of the business that Venus alluded to was our corporate market. And by corporate, that is for people that are coming out of work either within their own company and team building culture, or it's by entertaining other clients from other companies. And this is becoming incredibly important around the world now as we're moving to this different work-life structure where many people are working partly from home and partly in the workplace. And when that's happening, when people do come to work, concepts such as this that enable building teams and culture are becoming incredibly important. And as a result, this becomes a lovely blend between social and business, which means that through the course of the week, the Monday to Friday, we have a steady stream of people, both from a business perspective and a social perspective. And then obviously Thursday through to Sunday, it becomes very, very social. Proven and profitable, and we now have 8 venues around the world in 6 countries on 3 continents. So this is a concept that's already been proven across a number of geographies. and a number of different cultures. So we sit here very comfortable that we've got a proposition that can transverse across geographies. I think the other aspect that is really important to understand about this world of gastro gaming, as we call it, competitive socializing, is it's this combination of the gaming, the food, and the drink, as to where this becomes a very profitable proposition compared to just thinking about a typical restaurant or food and beverage experience. And let me talk you through. There's 2 to 3 ways that is the case. First of all, you have just the simple addition of revenue that comes from the game itself. So we charge for people to play the game. It's a 90-minute experience, and through that, a group of, on average, 6 people would enjoy a variety of games. And what we find is the 90 minutes goes very quickly. So there's a fixed charge already for the game experience, which would be incremental to any food and beverage bill at a normal restaurant. Second to that is our games go for 90 minutes. Now, people tend to come just before, have a drink, play the game, and then have a drink afterward. So on average, people are staying 2 to 2.25 hours. Now, if you compare that to people just going to a restaurant, people are in our venues longer. The longer the dwell time, the obviously more that they're eating and drinking. So a second source of revenue to see where that is. The other important aspect is the gaming revenue. Whilst it impacts healthily the top line, there are virtually no cost of goods. So that goes straight to the bottom line. Hence, you have an incremental benefit versus food and beverage in terms of your EBITDA. And the final part is about loyalty. And what we're finding is for this group of people, and this is a global insight, is just going out to eat and drink now is no longer adequate enough. People need some sort of experience. And as a result of that, we have millennials and Gen Z, which tend to be the 20 to 40-year-old bracket. 60% of that group say that once they've tried an experience such as this, they will come back. So all of those elements combining to say that versus just a traditional food and beverage proposition, there is incremental top line, but also very healthily incremental bottom line. We've also invested heavily in our technology. All of our technology has IP protection, and that really drives the front and back end of our business. And it's this combination of the how we think about the end-to-end customer experience through both the technology and people lens, and also our back end experience to make sure that that whole area is seamless, has led us to having customer satisfaction scores that are up around the 70 to 85% mark out of 100, which is quite extraordinary for hospitality businesses. So, and that has also been recognised around the world in terms of various awards. In Brisbane, in Australia, which is a franchise venue, we've just won for the 2nd year running the Queensland Government's best F&B hospitality venue. And that's up against many, many great other propositions. We, as I said, we're in 3 continents and 6 countries. Started in Oslo, moved to Brisbane in Australia, Amsterdam, Gothenburg. We have our first shuffle brand, which is a shuffleboard experience in Oslo, and also in London, Melbourne, Singapore, and we'll have 2 more open before the end of this year, Q1 next year. So as you can see, we have tested it in many different countries and many different continents to know that the proposition resonates. If I turn my attention now specifically to India, and what we're looking for partners across the breadth of India. If we could find a partner that would cover the whole of India, that would be wonderful. But we know it's a very large country, in which case, as a first part, thinking about how we would break that down into 4 of the key places like Delhi, Mumbai, Hyderabad, Bangalore. So that is a part, but essentially we're looking for partners that could be in any parts of India and would be willing to take on a defined geographic area, be it as small or large as they can manage. And Venus slightly larger, I would say, ideal location size. 700 to 900 square meters, or probably around sort of the 7,000 to 8,500 square feet. So, and this, we would say, I think, a blend of locations that one would be standalone, so people could both walk past or come to the venue. But we give, if the right location in the right malls was there, where people could have just clear access into the proposition, that could also be entertained. If when you're doing real estate search, you found something that already was a bar and restaurant, but may have a bar, may have a kitchen. Right. That will have a significant benefits to you as a franchisee in terms of reducing the capital to get this proposition started. And the other part would be if you can find places where both business and social customers would go. So it can't be somewhere that's so focused on business through the week, but on weekends no one would go to that area. It needs to have that nice blend. The fortunate thing is, if we look at Oki London, nearly 75% of our bookings are pre-booked. So in a way, a destination, because of the popularity and success of our proposition, people pre-book to ensure that they can get their experience. And we believe we could entertain paybacks between 2 and 3 years, and that will vary depending upon various aspects. But as we walk through the structure of the P&L, given the cost of goods, given the labour costs, we feel very confident this will be a very profitable proposition for Indian franchisees. So in terms of who makes a great partner, I think it's someone. The ideal would be everything, but we know that often the ideal doesn't exist. But obviously someone capital to fund the venue plan, and depending upon how big the territory they're looking for and how many venues that they might be entertaining. Ideally, F&B hospitality experience. If they don't have that, then obviously that's something you can bring in, but it would help because, as you can see, the food and beverage part is a critical part to what we're doing. Good real estate, I think Venus was spot on. Good real estate. If you've got either within your own capabilities or a good real estate partner that could get you good deals, the better the deal, the more the money. And we across our 8 venues, we have some where we've got excellent deals. Our bottom lines are very, very healthy indeed, and an entrepreneurial spirit. So we really welcome partners that think about our proposition, think about it from a local perspective, and bring innovation to us. And we mutually agree on that, and it's a two-way flow in terms of how we operate. You've heard about my background. We're also very well backed by a company called Carbon Invest, a Norwegian IT investor. Jens Rugseth, who is the founder of that business, and Christian Bredem, who is the CEO of Carbon Invest, but the chairman of the Social Gaming Group, and works in partnership with myself. So there is a link there, but a lot of the discussions will be with our wonderful partners, Fran Global, in terms of this journey. And I will stop there, Venus, and hand back to yourself for any questions or any further update.
Thank you so much, Roy. This was very well presented. And I think one theme which I could get is it's a very destination business. In fact, in a market like India, although I think you have rightly mapped out the 4 cities which would be perfect candidate to put up a center. But this would be very destination niche. So we are looking at one per city right now, right? And is that a strategy that you would not open more in a city? Because that again also kind of ties into a franchising proposition.
I think we'd be looking in some of the larger cities, multiple venues. If you look very comfortably, we have a very profitable business in Oslo, and you're talking about 400,000 people. If I think about some of the cities we've just talked about, you've got many multiples of 400,000. So I think what we would do, Venus, is we would sit down. Let's say, for argument's sake, someone that was interested in Hyderabad, and we would sit down with them. We'd walk through the socio and demographics of Hyderabad together, and then we define. We believe that there are X number of venues that could be possible for this area, and we would then mutually agree that with the franchisee.
Right, but you are open if someone comes, because I think the whole crux of this is, apart from alignment on partnership, is the real estate. If someone has let's say an ideal real estate, which for me as your representative would be a very big part of the deal, would you be open to let's say a single unit in the 4 markets where you mentioned, and the real estate is fits the bill?
That could be a possibility, yes.
Okay, so I think because that's important for people. And another thing you mentioned about the format, one is, let's say in Australia or even in Europe, what is a typical per square feet investment when someone is putting up a location? Of course, that can be converted to Indian rupees to get a sense on how much it would be to kind of put together a social gaming location.
Yeah, and that's been a very interesting exercise that we've been doing with your team, actually, and it's been very informative. Just translating, if you looked at the spend in London versus what would that equate to in spend in India, once you take into consideration cost of goods, labour, etc. So we think it will be somewhere around the 800,000 US, 800,000 worst case $1 million mark. To build
million, which is I think is very reasonable. I mean, so in Indian, let me just convert for the audience. So one store, and we are talking about 7,000 to 10,000 square feet carpet area in Hyderabad or Bangalore or Mumbai or maybe South Delhi, Gurgaon. It would be about between let's say 7 to 9 crores of a capital. And I would assume, because we are serving alcohol, we have gaming, we have food. So a typical turnover, Troy, in let's say London would be what on a monthly or an annual basis? We can convert that for India.
Yes. So if we take Oki Oslo, because it's a very very straightforward example. That's close to around 5 million US annual turnover.
5 million US. 5 million US would be about 40 crores in India. So, in a location like this, in fact, we did something very similar yesterday also, a concept. So in India, we should be able to kind of look at about between 3 to 3.5 million US at a minimum level. So that would be about 20 to 24 or 25 crores in Indian rupees. So again, it's a high investment, high turnover business. And Troy, we should be able to get at least initial investment back in the first 2.5 years, right? I think that's what we saw that as well.
I think, as I said, I mean, each case we'd have to sit down and work with our franchise partners, but when we look at the sort of bottom line that they should be able to achieve, the capital investment and the turnover we'd expect, particularly given the sort of population sizes that we'd be dealing with, then we should feel that would be the range that people could get their money back by.
And you mentioned that you already have franchisee in a couple of the countries you're operating. So those people, Troy, are they hoteliers, hospitality people, or real estate people mostly?
They're hospitality people. I would say we've got some that are hospitality, some that hospitality, but within their business, they've got real estate. Or not, they've got a real estate knowledge.
Yeah.
But on the real estate, we've got a really clear real estate brief, which if you didn't have a real estate person sitting in your business, if you had a real estate broker, then our brief is very clear, in which case they'd be able to act on their brief.
Yeah, considering that in India, our capital and money is relatively expensive than the West. So this would be a business family, mostly real estate, hospitality, both, and looking to create something destination. So I think for my team members here who are, and also our network, our people, our brokers, our consultants, and our prospective franchisees. So the ideal, this is not a quick service business. This is a destination. This is meaning people will plan and they'll put it on their calendars to come to social gaming location. So which means it requires a certain amount of capital that is between 7 to 9 crores in Indian rupees. And you require at least best in town space also. So for a location like Mumbai, you would do this in a BKC ideally to start with, and in Gurgaon you would maybe do somewhere near Cyber Hub in around that area, or maybe South Delhi as well, Vasant Kunj, that area, and should be able to also have a working capital of let's say at least 2 crores to be able to then do this right. And in terms of training, Troy, you would have people, you would have your team training, because I think I can see your staff is, it's not a normal, like, let's say, staff in a restaurant. They seem very highly trained. So how would you cover that? You will be training the staff here?
Definitely. What we would do is, first of all, what we do is provide a floor print of whatever space the franchise partner is looking at. They would work with their own design and construction team to design and construct. When we get about 3 or 4 months out, we provide what we call PR in a box, sort of how do you open an Oki or a shuffle. And that allows, that would provide them with the sort of social media knowledge and understanding, and how you use influencers to bring the brand to the fore. About 3 weeks out, we would bring people into India, into the venue, and train the people that had been hired, so that they understand the service standards, the ethos, and to a basic degree, the technology. Our team would also implement all the technology, so that would be a straightforward exercise for the franchise partner.
Great. And you would be working throughout to make on the marketing and how to kind of get people initially, and of course on an ongoing basis, because I guess the partner would need help in that.
Yeah, of course. What we have is the content, but also the strategy in terms of how do you start. So what we've done very painfully, but we've obviously learned the lessons so that we don't need your partners to learn the same, is we've essentially opened in 6 countries from scratch, no brand name. And when we went into Oki London, no one knew who Oki was. We opened in July. By November, we were sold out every night. So we know how to build a brand very quickly, so that if it's in Delhi or Mumbai or Hyderabad or Bangalore or any other city, we could show the way for the partner to take the brand from scratch. So via social media, which is a very affordable way of getting your brand recognition out there.
Absolutely. And you said that you have background of Top Golf. That also again is a very destination brand, much capital intensive than what you're doing now.
A lot bigger, a lot bigger.
from 25 million to we're I think under $1 million. So, and of course more scalable also. But in India, I feel in phase one, I think the opportunity, if anyone sort of sees this as right now, our first focus is to get one in each city: Mumbai, Bangalore, Hyderabad, Delhi, Gurgaon. And between Delhi and Gurgaon, you can have two actually because it's two different cities. That is our opportunity. Very destination. This is not for everyone. This again, this is for people who don't mind spending, let's say, anywhere between $80 to $100 over a weekend. US dollars, that's between, let's say, 6,000 rupees to 8,000 rupees, have best experience available in that particular city. So again, if you understand real estate, if you have access to capital, we can have a chat. Someone was asking me the ROI sheet, the PL. We have all that worked out, but we would not share it right now because first we want to speak with you. We, as I mentioned, this is not it's not a quick service restaurant. You would not be opening 25 of these in Delhi or in Mumbai. Our first strategy is to start with one, but that one has to speak for itself. Then we can add another one in next couple of years. So that's what we're looking for. Is I think my experience says that a brand would not want to work in that city with 10 different partners. If this works, then they would be sort of planning the next location with yourself. But it's a relationship, and I guess both parties needs to kind of understand and align with each other. So that's the proposition. If you are looking to invest into a high-end F&B / entertainment project, then social gaming is the one. But again, I want to sort of say that this is not for everyone. It's a very destination brand. Ticket size both at the project level and both for the customer is going to be high. So we would need that fit, financial real estate fit, and then we can talk PLs. You can visit the stores in London. You can meet Troy in London, or you can visit other locations across the world. And yes, we'll be there with you at every step of the way. And the idea is to get the first social gaming store in India as soon as possible, and have that option available to people in our country. So Troy, before we conclude, anything else you want to add?
Yeah, it probably just a subtle variation on what you're saying, Venus, is we're really conscious of whichever city we go into that we're actually an affordable night out. So this is not just the top 1%. We appeal to the sort of the mid-range people and up. Our ticket prices are about $50 US, but I would say when we translate that to an Indian context, looking at the sort of pricing structure, it's probably going to be slightly lower than that. So I think we appeal to maybe a bit more than what you were saying. It's only the high end. We appeal really to socially active people, 20 and above. And
I like that.
And definitely when we get to corporates, the corporate world really does embrace what we're doing. So I think that would be from that aspect, and what we've already proven, as I was saying before, is this is very profitable compared to standard food and beverage, because you've got the benefit of the gaming, but plus people are staying longer because they're engaged. So we're very confident and we're very excited about India. We think the blend of the investment that it would take, plus the population, and even looking at the top two tiers that we think we will appear to will mean that this will be both very profitable and very popular.
And in the $50 ticket, Troy, you get apart from the game, are you getting a drink or something to eat?
Yeah, no, that's the average ticket. So that's that's the gaming, food, and drink on average. So obviously there are some that just come and play the game and have drinks. There are some that may even just come and eat and drink, but on average. So I think when you look at that, I think we have very broad appeal in terms of the people that come along.
Oh, okay, so great. I think that's a great price point. So instead of 1%, I think we can look at about 20%, which is still huge numbers in our cities. And
I will take 20%. I will take 20% of the Indian population. That sounds like a pretty good place to be.
No, 20% of India 1. So I have India 1, India 2, India 3 concept. So this is India 1 population. So 20% of 100 million. That's still a very big number. I think someone was asking how much is the investment. As you mentioned, it's about 7 to 9 crores initial investment, and you have our details. So you reach out to us, Satish. We will also give you a call and try and see if this is a fit. Yeah, I think thank you so much, Troy. This was interesting, and I think I like that you understand the fit which is required for the Indian market, and considering where we are in the time in terms of the supply of concepts like this, I think we should be able to get somewhere. And I'm very excited to work with you and try and sort of bring the brand to India. So thank you so much for being able to join us.
Yeah, you're absolutely welcome. And as I said at the start, India's very dear in my heart from both a business and a social perspective. And I feel very, looking very much to bringing our business to India. And I think bringing this sort of whole industry to India, that I think for people that want to move first, people will do very well.
Okay, absolutely. Let me just try to reply someone. Satish, you can reach me here on my email ID. And thanks, Troy. So we will speak to people who have attended our session today and reach out to you and align a introductory call with the people, and then accordingly take it up.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you so much. So before I bring in Harshika, I also want to invite everyone who is watching this now or will watch this later to our Franchise India show, which is happening on 15th and 16th of July at Pragati Maidan, Delhi. You should be able to get and register for it on franchiseindia.com. And this is the biggest thing which we do. This is the 19th edition. I attended my first one in 2007. So I've seen it for over 16 years now. And it gives me a sense of where the franchise industry is going. It would this time it would feature over 600 brands, over 50,000 people, franchise convention, franchise awards, seminars. I mean, there are people coming from all across the world, all across the country. So if you are looking to join the franchise industry, there in India, there is no better, bigger platform. I, alongside Franchise India team, Fran Global team, really look forward to welcome you all. Just, I think, Harshika, where can people go to get the link? Because we need to share the link.
On Franchise India page, franchiseindia.in.
Franchiseindia.in. Just go there and you should be able to book your visit. If you are looking to join, expand into the franchising business, this is the platform you need to be. Again, at Franchise India family, all of us at Franchise India really look forward to welcome you there. Reach out to us to be able to join the show, and we'll be happy to connect. Thank you so much, Harshika. Over to you. Harshika, are we done?
Thank you, Venus. Thank you, Team Fran Global for this wonderful presentation and discussion about the brand social gaming. Friends, for more detail about this brand, you can reach us on our hotline number 9717683838. You can also write us on feedback@franchiseindia.in. Franchise India today running a great evening show, that is a Bharat Franchise Show. Today we are giving invited exclusive opportunities to get into a franchising business. Brands like Apna Mart, Mind Research Foundation, Charak, Krishna Supermarch. For more details about these brands, you can reach us on our hotline number. And as Venus said, Franchise India comes again with our iconic show at Pragati Maidan on 15-16 July. Save the dates. For registration, you can reach us on Franchise India website. Either you can call us on our hotline number. Thank you everyone for joining today's webinar.
Thank you,